speak to her.
Perhaps we can go another... The dagger? Duh! By Akatosh, they didn't even wrap it correctly. You didn't touch it, did you? Well, no. Of course you must have. Did you attempt to wield it? And you're not dead? Gods, it's a wonder it's in one piece. I do. I do indeed. Keening, one of the great tools of Kagranak himself, is finally in my possession. I don't think I really believed this day would come. Now we see whether my theories are correct. I apologize if I have not been clear about my work. I didn't want to discuss it for fear this moment might never come. Everyone knows the dwarves disappeared. No one knows why. This little experiment is a first step in recreating the events of their disappearance in an effort to unravel that mystery. Lacking the heart of a dead god, I'm substituting the crystal you helped craft in its place. I also lack Sunder, the counterpart to the dagger Keening. I am reasonably confident, however, that this will still work. I certainly don't expect it to have quite the same results. I'm no tonal architect, of course. Well, I suppose it's time, isn't it? Let's see what happens. You may want to stand back a step or two. But please, don't leave. You've been instrumental in this process. I'd like you to see the results firsthand. Right then. That didn't really do anything, did it? Perhaps a little harder.
You should have seen me at the height of my adventuring career.
I don't understand. This should produce some notable effect.
But that's what it was all about.
Work, damn you!
I'm itching for anything, as long as I get to fight. Did you need something? No problem. I'll handle it. No problem. I'll handle it. Anything else before you go?
Force, go!
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Spells and incantations for those with a talent to cast them. All right, then. Why are my research materials constantly disappearing?
Enchanting services are one of the few things... You've already learned all I could teach you. I think there's more enchanting to be done. You can acquire whatever it is and bring it back here, and I'll take care of it. The local Nords may
Divine
not
smile
like
on you, friend.
much, but they don't seem
I
to
shall
mind
explain to
having
you the
access
mysteries
to
of the outer
weapons and armor.
realms. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
All right, then.
Tolfdir is Master Wizard. I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Mm-hmm.
There are few
I've seen
places
enough
where one
to
can
last
pursue
3
my...
lifetimes.
I'll teach you
Yet I
some
will
of what
never
I
find
know,
a good
but be
fight.
careful.
What do you make of that?
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. All right, then. Take a look. Mm-hmm.
May your next fight bring you victory, friend. All this knowledge might have been lost were it not. As a matter of fact, there are. Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. He holed himself up in Labyrinth. Since then, I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
What do you make of that?
never should have come here.
Please, someone do something! Don't hurt me!
This should be good. A fight.
You all right? You look like you might be sick.
I'll skin you alive.
Get it now while we can.
I'll show you what a real orc can do.
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
I've seen enough death to last 3 lifetimes. Yet I never tire of a good fight. What do you make of that?
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. Sorry, but the North Wind is my mistress, and I'm her master. I don't tolerate any disloyalty. You looking for work? Got a sailor who thought running a gang of thieves would be more money than hauling my cargo. You make an example of that gang. I'll give you a year's worth of pay. That's the spirit, right? See you around.
Talk to Captain Galland if you're looking to book passage. If you're looking for passage?
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore. Sure. Yeah, that's me. Why? Who sent you? Now, hold on. That wasn't my fault. I didn't know they were going to attack anybody. I don't even know how I got here. It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. If you've been listening to me, I'm not going back there. All right, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do. Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself.
Let's move faster. The sun is...
Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement. The Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles. When House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here. We've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second Councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from them. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. Attempted expansion, revenge for the enslavement of their people, or perhaps both. Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives. Many more were exiled from their
When I
homeland.
drew Green Sever, I think the poor man soiled his armor.
I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think. But I'm not sure what. Galland.
Talk to Captain Galland if you're looking to book...
Passage. We were delayed by bad weather. Before you even asked.
Damn.
Excuse me, but the temple is for followers of our faith. Elder Arthroloth is grooming me to be his eventual replacement. Soon I'll be running the temple.
Mira. It sounds very familiar.
Not someone here, but...
I'm not sure I can recall.
I can't be sure. I know I've heard that name, but it doesn't feel real.
Does that make any sense?
Non-believers are welcome here.
Not much contact with others.
Are you here to pray? Or perhaps pay your respects at our ancestral tomb? There where we inter our dead. They are sacred places, meant to honor their passing. Sadly, we've been unable to use the ancestral tomb beneath the temple as of late, and have resorted to other locations to scatter the remains. Those foul vermin, the abominations we call ash spawn, have risen from the ashes of our own ancestors. They're befouling the memories of our forefathers by defiling their remains. Thank you, Wanderer. That would be most kind.
Here, this key should open the door to the tomb.
Sounds like something from a dream, and yet it might be more. Strange. I remember a temple on Solstheim, and working to build something. It was not a pleasant dream. The Dunmer race doesn't bury their dead, or leave them to rot inside a stone sarcophagus. When a Dunmer passes, his body is given to fire, so he might return to the ash from whence he came. The Dunmer don't believe that death is the end. We believe that it's the beginning. The reclamations are the true tribunal, the Daedra that consecrate the Dunmer people, Azura, Methala, and Boethia. We call them the true tribunal because they have reclaimed their place in our hearts from the false tribunal that came before. Sotha Sil, Amalexia, and Vivek represent what was, beings who won the Dunmer people's hearts with their actions, but blinded them just the same. They were aberrations, false prophets. They used their status as heroes to shield the true tribunal from our minds. But now that they've been destroyed, the light can finally shine upon the House of Reclamations. Be cautious, friend. The Ash Spawn are soulless beings with no regard for compassion. Guards, are you certain they'll... Of course, I'm certain. I wished to bless the tombs with the monthly invocation, but I couldn't. I'm certain it's only stock, Elder. I'll speak to Glover Mallory and see if he can take a look at it. Excuse me, but the temple is for followers of our faith alone. Outsiders aren't welcome here.
there?
love the cold air. It's exhilarating. Perhaps it's because of my new
They serve
blood,
the best
but
soup.
Can I help you? Last time I rode Gjalland's ship, I was even me guts for a week.
On behalf of House Redorin and as Councillor of Raven Rock, I bid you... You've never heard of House Redorin? We're the mightiest of the great houses, and we lead the Council, the ruling body of Morrowind. This isn't Skyrim, Outlander. A group of powerful and influential Dunmer families have been ruling Morrowind for millennia. They embody a council made up of 5 great houses: Telvanni, Dres, Indoril, Sadras, and Redorin. Well, of course, with 4 other houses on the council, someone has to keep the rabble organized. Our house leads the council by virtue of our preeminence in battle, wisdom, and ancestral glory. Yes, I imagine it would to someone not of our people. If you're interested in pursuing the subject, help yourself to any of the historical volumes in my library. Solstheim is theoretically under my rule, but without revenue from the mine, I lack the resources to actually govern anything but Raven Rock itself. Not that there's much beyond the confines of our town anyway. Well, there's a small enclave of Nords to the north in Skal Village. They pretty much keep to themselves, and we both like it that way. Then there's Tel Mithrin to the east. The Telvanni live out there. Sort of a strange lot. But since we're both from Morrowind, we get along. Other than that, Solstheim is crawling with bandits and reeklings. But that's to be expected living in a frontier like this. It used to be one of the richest ebony mines in Morrowind, but it dried out years ago. Now, we're barely holding out here. Without the mine, Raven Rock doesn't feel like it can last much longer. Do I? What a strange thing. It sounds so familiar, and yet I cannot place the name. I'm not even sure. I can picture a temple, here on Solstheim. Must have been a bad dream. My doors are open if you wish to discuss matters involving Raven Rock. Anything you can contribute.
When I was young,
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our laws. Otherwise, you'll answer to the Redoran Guard. I've sworn to keep Councillor Morvain safe, and I intend to take that oath to the grave with me.
Prospecting for ebony?
I work for Mogrul. You got a problem, you talk to him. Welcome to the Retching Net's Corner Club, my lord. If you need anything, Master Geldis will be happy to help you.
Tell the best
All right.
swordsman in all Morrowind is at your service. For the right price.
If you're dealing with me, there's only one thing to remember. Pay your debts or end up hurt.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sue Jammer that will ever grace your lips. Welcome. If you're looking for a room or perhaps some libations, you've come to the right place. If you've got gold on your hands, you might talk to Rallis of the Colbjorn Barrow. I've heard he wants to excavate the place. The Redarin Guard have spotted a pack of werewolves in the mountains. The hunters up on Frostmoon Crag might know more. Haven't heard anything lately, but check back with me. You never know. There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sue Jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. The finest Sue Jammer to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sue Jammer. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. I was kind of hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sue Jammer and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you.
I work for Mogrul. You got a problem, you talk to... Mogrul doesn't lend coin to outlanders.
I'll give you this warning only. Take that swill and pour it down a well. Until next time.
Teldrin Cerro, blade for hire. If you have the coin.
Welcome to...
I'm at your
Sorry. Gildas won't allow me to drink while I'm working at the netch. Safe travels.
Stand. The entire island is covered in ash. You have huge ice fields up north, and it's freezing.
My mother was a strong woman. She's the one who instructed me on my sword fighting techniques. Can you imagine?
Here in his shrine.
That they have forgotten.
Here do we toil.
That we might remember.
By night we reclaim.
What by day was stolen. Far from ourselves.
That seems inadvisable.
Oh, fascinating. I'm touching...
Ah, so you are able to resist the effect by exerting your will. Fascinating.
Our hands once were idle.
Effects of repeated contact
Now
could
through
be...
them does he speak.
Unless, of course, you'd like to contribute to my investigation.
And when the world shall
which could be
listen.
very enlightening to observe for you.
I said to leave me be.
Cretius, last time you explored the mine, you almost fell to your death. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a widow.
And I'm telling you that I'll do whatever it takes to find my great-grandfather's remains. He's down here. I can feel it.
That was almost 2 centuries ago. There may be nothing left to find.
Just let me go.
Cretius, you're an obstinate old... and you're going to get yourself killed. apologies for Creech. Oh, that sounds lovely. Thank you. That foolish old man thinks he's 30 years younger than he is. He's going to get himself killed traipsing around the mine. He's convinced himself that there's some sort of conspiracy involving the East Empire Company and the mine's closure. We came across some old letters that belonged to his great-grandfather in our house, and he believes every word written in them. Cretius's great-grandfather worked for the East Empire Company. The letters mention some sort of discovery he was sent to investigate. There's really nothing remarkable in the letters. I don't know what he's so excited about. Gratian Corellius. He was an explorer for the East Empire Company. They'd send him all over Tamriel when they had difficulties in a mining operation. Poor man. Can you imagine doing all that dangerous work just to end up dying at your own doorstep? There was a horrible accident, and he was killed when one of the tunnels collapsed. They were never even able to go down there and recover the body. The East Empire Company sealed that section off to prevent any more tragedies. Cretius is convinced it's a story cooked up by the company to cover up something else, but I don't know. My beloved is almost 80 years old, and I think the shock of finding one of his ancestors' things has left his mind a bit confused. I love him dearly, and I support everything he does, but I can't let him chase this silly idea, or he may end up joining Gratian in a rocky grave. To understand how we met one another, you have to appreciate what he's going through. Cretius is a third-generation miner. All his life, he's lived and breathed nothing else. By the time Cretius came of age, the ebony mine in Raven Rock was shut down. He took that quite hard. Our home has been in his family for over 200 years. Leaving would have been like abandoning precious memories. Instead, he stayed on Solstheim and spent most of his life prospecting for a new ebony source. Sadly, it never surfaced. A decade ago, this drove him into a deep depression. He shut himself inside his home and refused to come out. It was after refusing to allow anyone to bring him food, Counselor Morvain ordered his door to be knocked down before Cretius starved to death. I was a temple priest at the time, and they had me use my healing arts to restore strength to his ailing body. I stayed for a while and cared for him, then I suppose we fell in love. Far from it. In fact, I'm no longer welcome there. In all honesty, it came down to a disagreement between what I believe and what Elder Othraloth believes. I'd prefer not to get into the details, but let's just say our opinions about the current status of the tribunal vary widely. Be careful out there.
Who in the blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy? Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are. Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But mark my words, these mines hold a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map. A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug 2 centuries ago. It killed my great-grandfather and left Raven Rock with a worthless and tainted mine. Gratian Corellius. He spent his entire life exploring ancient ruins across Tamriel, and he died in these very mines almost 200 years ago. The East Empire Company called it a terrible accident, claiming that he was lost in a rockfall, but I know better. My wife and I were cleaning out our home, and we came across some of my great-grandfather's things locked in an old chest. I found an unsent letter he'd written to the East Empire Company, and a key. It describes a discovery that was made in the mine by some of the diggers. They wanted Gratian to take a closer look. The East Empire Company must have felt it was of great value, as they locked that section of the mine off from everyone else. It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance. Finally, someone who believes me. I'm telling you, there's something big down there. Something that the East Empire Company wanted to hide from everyone. Look, my wife nags that I'm too old to go traipsing around these mines chasing my story. Time's my enemy. It's caught up with me before I could find the answers that I'm looking for. I do. I want to know what happened to Gratian, and what the East Empire Company is keeping from all of us. Gratian kept a journal of notes about his discoveries. If you can find his remains, I'm hoping it will help. Here's everything I have. The letter, the key. Please, do this for me, so I can finally regain the respect that I've lost. He's begging for patrons again, eh? Well, I suppose I could have just a bit. Look, I know I don't have much to go on. I have that unsent letter, and that's really it. But I also have a miner's instinct that's run in my family from before Gratian was even born. I may sound like a crazy old man to you, but I'm telling you, the tunnels here are solid. They would never collapse like that. She thinks that old age has addled my mind, that I'm seeing things when there's nothing to be seen. I realize she cares about me, but she has to understand that I can't rest until I find out what happened to Gratian. Then I'll settle down peacefully and never set foot in this mine again. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, even before I discovered Gratian's old things. I just hope both of you don't mistake my enthusiasm for insanity. Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
Why you're leading Theseus on, I'll never understand.
Does someone live among finality?
I ventured into quite a few Nord ruins in my day. People say Skyrim is one of the most dangerous places in Tamriel. I'm itching for a fight. No problem. I can carry a good bit of gear. All set. I've really missed traveling like this. What? In the breadth of Skyrim has always filled my heart with excitement. You should have seen me at the height of my adventure. I was fearless. It is. But that... I'm itching for a fight. No problem. I can carry a good bit of gear. Set. Let's go. burn like tinder, and we could use that fire incantation.
So, another seeker after knowledge enters my realm. I am Hermaeus Mora, Prince of Fate and Lord of Secret. This is Apocrypha, where all knowledge is forged. Perhaps you will prove clever enough. Welcome. You are a fool or a coward. If so, you are in peril. Read your book again and escape before Apocrypha claims you forever.
They reek of decay.
Where'd you come from?
Stand aside, Outlander.
Why you're leading Cretius on, I'll never understand. Why you're leading Cretius on, I'll never understand.
You're back. Please, tell me what you found. Let me see that. Huh, I knew it. Gratian's death wasn't because of a rock fall. It was just a story to keep people away from the tombs. Now that I have his journal in hand, I can get some closure from the East Empire Company. Make them pay for lying to everyone. Thank you. Now, I believe I owe you a little more than a debt of gratitude for all that work you did. Here, it's not much, but it's the best an old retired miner can do. Mark my words.
I work for Mogrul. You got a problem, you talk to him. Your actions here. Always a pleasure to taste anything Geldis comes up with. The Dunmer have been growing food in the Ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity to survive in the harsh climate of our homeland. And now, with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain, it's more important than ever. No, only the Telvanni have the ability to weave living growth from the ash. This simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools, and a lot of patience. Next time you're hungry, stop
Welcome
by.
to the Retching Net's Corner. How do you feel? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day, and more coin than I can count. The ash spawn attacks on the bulwark are getting worse. Captain Veleth is trying his best, but I think the Reddering Guard are overwhelmed. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Always a pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by. It gets lonely. Well, tell Geldis that Miri says she really appreciates it.
You look able to venture. Oh, how kind. Thank Geldis for me, won't you?
You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
It's busier now that things are... Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding. Thanks. Mining gear? No. However, I used to sell East Empire pendants until I ran out of them. Popular little item.
I should have another batch of...
It's an amulet that was made exclusively for the East Empire Company. They gave them to their workers as an incentive at one point, a kind of reward for extra effort. They're no longer being made, so they've become a collectible. I'd love to get my hands on a few of them. Well, well. Seems you're proving fairly useful for an Outlander. Here's your coin. Keep bringing me more, and I'll keep paying you for them. Things are picking up for now. All I'm wondering is how long it'll take for House Redoran to begin ignoring us again if the mine runs out of ore for a second time. Bad? What if I told you that you're the first person that's even considered looking at my wares today? I've half a mind to contact my friends at the East Empire Company and see if they need an extra hand in Windhelm. Oh, absolutely. In fact, I've corresponded with Vittoria Vici herself more than once. You know, the lady who runs the East Empire Company warehouse in Solitude. The biggest warehouse they have in Skyrim. Bah, you're just like the rest of the folks around here. Mark my words. The East Empire Company will return to Raven Rock, and when they do, I'll be at the top of their list.
Have another batch of vegetables ready for you soon, Geldis.
The East Empire pendants are scattered all over, so leave no stone.
It's a deal.
Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for
You
sale.
haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know. I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Cretius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble. Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Well, it's been a long time since someone from the guilds bothered to make their way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart? Good to hear. Tam Layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine? Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone. Eager to make some coin, eh? That's the spirit. I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle. Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here, with no one to watch my back. And besides, it's really my problem anyway. I caused it. A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about a fortnight ago. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us. That he did, right out from under my nose. Can you believe it? It's my own formula for improved bone mold. Took me years to perfect. Well, before he ran off, he was talking some nonsense about trying to fence goods to the Reeklings at Castle Karstag. I told him he was crazy to even think about talking to those vicious little buggers, but he wouldn't listen. I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either dead or hiding out up there. You do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. You won't be disappointed.
I should have another batch of vegetables ready for you soon, Geldis.
You tell Cretius he better give that pickaxe back to me.
Tell you what, if you use them
It's
to make
busier
your
now that-
Guama egg stew,
Yeah, so
you can have
what can
them
I
for
get?
free.
You brought Raven Rock back
Everything
from the
from
brink.
potions to
A
pitchforks.
few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial City to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived. Yes, the Strident Squall, or something like that. The damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine? One of the sailors survived. Poor thing crawled all the way to Raven Rock on his hands and knees. Before he died, he told the Redoran Guard about the wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with reavers. Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom. My husband is second Your efforts in Raven Rock have proved Admiral Arano, second counselor of Raven Rock. How I hate that title. Damn fool's going to get himself killed over it someday. He's in grave danger, and yet he continues to place himself in harm's way. When I fall asleep at night, all I can do is hope he'll still be there when I awaken. This island was never meant for us. There's too much death here. I assure you, if I could convince Adril to do that, I'd be on the next ship back to Blacklight. Unfortunately, Adril and Councillor Morvain are very close friends, and they will never abandon one another, despite my feelings. I'm the wife of a second councillor, and certain things are expected of me. The most important thing is that I stand by Adril no matter how I feel, and I intend to do that until we get off this miserable rock. I am his hands. The master calls.
The mine's open, people are buying drinks, and I'm making money again. Just like old times.
That world will see, nearing his shrine.
That they have forgotten.
Elders talk of great sin, much bigger than our village. But why would anyone need something?
Do not disturb us.
Do not break our concentration.
Do not speak. Focus is essential.